Hey you, would you like to see a spell that turns Sisters of Avelorn into Ratling Gunners? Well, before we get into that, I'd like to tell you about Clopier Watches. They're sponsoring this video, which means I get to make it a little longer than usual. They're a Finnish watch brand with high quality watches and very comfortable Finnish reindeer leather straps. If you're in the market for a new watch, you can use the link below to check out their website and use code Enticity to show you came from here. But back to the video, Hand of Glory, one of the few buff spells I endorse. It gives plus 40 reload skill and plus 24 melee attack. And when you overcast it, for only 2 more winds of magic, it's plus 60 reload skill. But before we dive into the details, let's just take a look at what the spell actually does. Well, with an overcast on Sisters of Avelorn, you're reducing their fire rate from 10 seconds all the way down to 4 seconds, over doubling their damage. And this is already equal to the damage boost you'd expect from Flaming Sword hitting 4 Sisters of Avelorn. Except in the case of Hand of Glory, it's 2 winds of magic cheaper, and the effect is fully achievable with 1 archer. And there's no reason to stop there either. While Sisters of Avelorn and other range units will cap out at 4 seconds, Eltharian Sentinels have a much longer reload time. And if you combine this with the reload effects of a Princess and a Handmaiden, you can expect almost 5 times the damage when you cast Hand of Glory. And even without the other reload buffs, Hand of Glory is still doubling the damage. And now you might be thinking, as did I, does that mean it's much more effective on artillery pieces? Well, the answer is yes, but to an extent. It's going to more than double the damage of your artillery over 30 seconds. But there's a bit of a problem that artillery generally doesn't do that much damage. So even though it's firing every 5 seconds, it's not really going to make the best use out of the spell. Instead, what you want to be casting it on is something very high DPS with a low fire rate. And this is where Lizardmen comes in. If you cast it on a Troglodyte, it's 4 winds of magic to fire twice as fast. Or alternatively, you overcast on a solar engine and it's firing 3 times as fast. Or maybe you can cast it on a salamander and get 5 shots off before the enemy even engages. But to truly judge this spell, we need to run some numbers. So exactly how much more damage are you getting out of your Sisters of Avelorn? Well, about 3,000. And at a cost of 6 winds of magic, that's 500 damage for each winds of magic you spend. And for comparison, we know Pit of Shades is a pretty busted spell right now. And guess what? Against the same unit, it's only dealing 300 damage per winds of magic. And this means in terms of pure damage efficiency, Hand of Glory will be giving you more value than Pit of Shades, even if your Sisters of Avelorn are firing at bronze shields. You don't even have to use a spell at max efficiency to get good value. And don't count the Lizardmen out either. Their Slann have easy access to extra spell intensity, which means you're getting a 26 melee attack boost for only 4 winds of magic. And this roughly means when you cast on Temple Guard, you're getting 200 damage per winds of magic. And for all you Flock of Doom fans out there, that's the same efficiency as hitting 2 units of infantry with Flock of Doom. It's not amazing damage, but the fact that the melee attack boost competes with direct damage spells at all is honestly pretty impressive. But realistically, the spell really only shines on Sisters of Avelorn. Oh, and I forgot to add, under no circumstances should you cast this spell immediately after you fire. And this is because the reload speed buff won't apply if your units are already reloading, which can make this spell in the worst case scenario do basically nothing. But anyways, hopefully you found that interesting, and if you're interested in the sponsor today, there's a link in the description.